Evening with Susan MacGregor, who has been shortlisted for this year's Best Novel Prix Aurora Award for her novel, The Tattooed Witch, which is a debut novel. Hi, Susan. So glad you could join us.
Hi, Lorena. Thank you.
How do you feel about being shortlisted for the Prix Aurora, especially that it's your debut novel?
Actually, kind of stunned, to tell you the truth. I didn't expect it. There were so many good books up, for this award that were nominated, at least 24. And when I saw that list initially, I thought, oh, well, okay, probably not. Hopefully people will read the book, they'll like it, but I didn't expect it to be shortlisted. So it was quite a surprise and definitely an honor, considering who I am also shortlisted with. So I really didn't expect it. So it's exciting, it's wonderful, and I'm just kind of very surprised by the whole thing.
Why do you think you were shortlisted? What is it that perhaps you think that makes your novel exceptional?
Okay, well, that's sort of two questions. I think I was shortlisted because I have friends who will buy my book and who read it, and I hope they were a little bit surprised by it, because prior to this, all I'd written were, just maybe a handful of short stories. So I think their support and their enthusiasm was what got me on the list initially, and then to be shortlisted was a real surprise to me, as I said. What's exceptional about the book is probably why I'm not with a big press, and why, thank God, I'm with you, Lorena. Because the book is a hybrid. It doesn't fit into any genre particularly well. It's not solidly one thing or solidly another, but I think that's its strengths. I don't like to be limited when I write, and there's a lot of themes that I want to cover. So in this book, I think this book is exceptional because it is a hybrid. It's a mix between alternate history, epic adventure, paranormal romance, all of those things together. For me, it was definitely an exploration into a lot of beliefs and ideas that I have, as well as an interest in history, that sort of thing. So it's exceptional. Would I call it exceptional? I'm not sure I'd call it exceptional. I would call it different. I think it's different in that it explores spiritual themes, it explores themes of love, it explores themes of power, it explores themes of personal faith and experience of that faith as compared to organized religions. It looks at themes of what makes things evil, what makes a person evil. And it looks also, as I'm not so much witch, but the trilogy itself looks at themes of where do we draw the line in terms of our morality. How do we build a personal morality? And what do we base that upon? Do we base that upon a need for power or a need for love? So I guess, does that answer the question? That's what makes the book, I think, different.
It answers the question really well.
Thank you.
Do you have a copy of the book there? You could flash on the screen for people to see?
Yes, I do. Pardon me while I'll just read. I should have had it ready. I'll just reach for it. Here.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm... Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah. So there it is.
Witch.
That's The Tattooed Witch. And I'm excited about the cover of book 2. It's going to be very similar, but a little different, so that's kind of fun. I've been talking about that with Jeff Minkovitz, and it's great. So
now the sequel releases August the 1st.
Yes.
It's called Tattooed Seer. Tell us a little bit about it and where we're going with Miriam and Joachim. And
okay, well, just to kind of talk a little bit about the Tattooed Witch, because it carries on from there, obviously. At the end of which, Miriam is involved with an auto da fe. She's about to be burnt at the stake. She is saved through the efforts of two love interests, one who is a ghost, a lover in spirit, which she brought about through magic. The other one is very real, Joaquin, gypsy thief who has kind of been destined, as she has, to lead their tribe of gypsies. So that's where a lot of the spiritual themes come in too, is the gods also have their own motivations in this book. So at the end of the story, if people, oh, I guess I'll just have to give it away. At the end of the story, Alonso, who is the priest in her head that she loves, he realizes that the only way he can save her is if he douses the fires. And so he has kind of a revelation about what it is to die. And that revelation is there's huge freedom in death. And in dying, you can choose what you want to be. So he chooses to become a storm, and he douses the fires. Joaquin physically saves her, helps her get out of there, and she later discovers that it is actually Joaquin who has created this entire wiping out of their tribe. Practically everyone's wiped out. So at the end of book 1, she and Joaquin are very drawn to each other, but she really questions his morality, is torn because her own father has died in the fires caused by the Inquisition, caused by Joaquin, and Alonso is gone. And she thinks she has lost the one great love of her life, which is Alonso. However, she's also very drawn to Joaquin, has always been drawn to Joaquin, and resents the idea that perhaps the gods are pulling them together. So, the beginning of Tattooed Seer, we're still looking at a triangular relationship. So I'll have to give it away, but in the first chapter, Alonso comes back. Miriam thinks he's gone forever. She tries to lay her morality, her moral code on the tribe. Doesn't quite work. Certainly Joaquin is getting in the way. He figures the only way to take care of his tribe is to steal for them and provide for them because they're still on the run from the Inquisition. So there's some issues there. But because the chemistry is so strong between them, and they go through a couple of situations where they're near being caught again by the Inquisition, they end up consolidating their relationship. They become a couple, and they become a couple just as Alonso arrives on the scene. So then you have in this book, relationships are much more intense. They are much more difficult, and they're still on the run from the Inquisition. By the end of the book, they get to a port where they're about to get onto a ship for the New World. So it's again looking at what the Inquisition is doing to the different cultural, racial groups in Spain during around 1550. The book also broadens out to include other areas of Europe, including England, which in this book I call Inglés. Little touching upon the war between France and Spain, not very much, but a little bit. And I also introduce a major character in book 2 in Seer, who is who's linked also with the papacy as well as with England. So it kind of widens the story. And then of course book 3, which I'm just starting to write, goes even further and takes them to the New World. So I guess that was probably more than you needed to know.
Actually, it's very, very tantalizing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Where should people go to vote, Susan?
Okay, so the Aurora Awards are sponsored by the Canadian Science Fiction and Fantasy Association. You need to join. It costs $10 to join the Canadian Science Fiction and Fantasy Association. Once you join, then you have the option to actually read all the novels, everything that's up for an Aurora, and make your choices, and then you can vote. You've got until September to read, and then you can vote, I think, I'm not exactly sure, sometime in September to make your choices. You can go to their website at www.prixauroraAwards.ca. So Prix Aurora Awards is one word, and the Aurora and the awards part shares that A, just so you know. So yeah, that's where you would go to if you want to read the book for free and decide for yourself. There it is, along with the other ones that are up for nomination as well.
Good luck to you, Susan. We have very, very high hopes for you.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Really appreciate it.
It's easy with authors like you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks again.
Okay, we'll be flashing the website for the Prix Aurora on the final version of this video. And again, good luck to you, and thanks so much for Susan for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.